Another good week for the Dodgers. We're about to talk about it here on Dodgers Wrap 360, so join us right now.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
It's another good week for the Los Angeles Dodgers, and the Los Angeles Rams are back. They won today.
Football in LA. I'm still wrapping my head around that.
I know we're a baseball show, but shout out to the Rams. Supporting the team. Home team, baby. What's up, guys? My name is Michael Rippe. You can find me on social media at Mike Rippe. I'm joined to talk about the Dodgers right here by my co-host
Hunter Marks. You can find me Hunter_Marks on Twitter. Tweet me.
And Josh Gershon. You can find me at Gersh13 on Twitter and Instagram.
That's right. So let us know what you think of the show. Comment. Give us 5 stars if you're watching on iTunes. Check out his shirt. Indiana Dad, baby. He's not a dad, but I love that
we
shirt.
know of.
So, the Dodgers 4-3 this week. They whittled the magic number down to 9.
Yeah.
We got a big week coming up. We'll talk about that shortly. Let's look at this week. Any thoughts about this week?
Well, the Dodgers went 4-3. It was a solid week, I say. If good to come out even on the win, win column,
especially with this longest road trip of the season. Mm-hmm. You come out. They had a hard luck loss today.
Yeah.
They
in 12.
In 12, took the lead in the 8th. Coleman gave up the runs in the bottom of the 8th and blew it in the 12th. But considering the long road trip, 4-3. They're still 5 games in front. Can't argue with that.
And the Giants are imploding, which makes it that much easier for us.
Hopefully that continues next week.
Yes.
Starting tomorrow. What I would say for me was most exciting about this week was Kershaw. And his ability to withstand a couple of the rain delays during his game, which made his start difficult. But he looked fantastic.
Yeah.
He looks like he's back. I know he didn't get the pitches up to the over 100, which we'd like to see. But he withstood 2 different rain delays. And he, won at Yankee Stadium this week.
Yeah, 5 strikeouts, 1 hit, 5 innings.
Perfect. Kershaw Vold.
Yeah, he still threw. They said during the rain delay he threw 16 pitches in their underground.
Exactly. Yeah. So he got stretched out even though there was rain. Yeah. And Dave Roberts did come out and set the postseason rotation with Kershaw leading, and then Rich Hill following, and then Kenta Maeda behind him. So that is good and exciting, and that leads us to this week, which is basically kind of you could put the nail in the coffin of the Giants here, with 3 games at home starting tomorrow, and the big guys set up, Kershaw, Hill, and ready to go against San Francisco.
I can't wait for that Kershaw-Bumgarner matchup. This is 2 longtime rivals who really just seem to bring the best out of each other. So this is the first time they've been playing each other all season, I believe. So
no, didn't they?
Is it early in the year before he got hurt?
Yeah,
okay, so they probably had one matchup before Kershaw got hurt, but it's good. It's going to be a great game and of 2 Titans. So.
I like it, 2 Titans.
Yes, thank you.
Nice, yeah, 2 Titans.
No, this is a huge. If you take 2 out of 3 and you go up 6 games with how many's left to play? They only have 3 games against the Giants after that. I mean,
no, 2 out of 3 would be perfect. Obviously, a sweep would close it out, really.
But I think a sweep does close the door.
But even just getting 1, realistically, I think as a Dodgers fan, you hope to sweep, obviously, always. If you get 2 out of 3, you're happy, obviously. But even getting 1, just don't get swept, because that would take all the momentum away, especially with who we have on the mound. So it's important to at least get 1, and if you get 1, at least you're on your way, because that cuts the magic number down to 7 right away, and that's the key. You want to trim the magic number as quickly as you can, and get ready for the postseason.
Oh yeah, and Kershaw, no innings limits, no pitch limits, no inning limits.
He's fully back.
Yeah, he's back.
Clayton Kershaw's fully back.
That's scary for everyone else.
It's scary for everyone else, and the one thing we did see this week was a couple things actually. First, we saw that in New York on Tuesday was our final start for Urias. Right?
Yes. Yeah. He's officially moved to the bullpen.
Tough luck loser. I mean, they lost 3-0 on Tuesday in New York. They still
CC Sabathia, CC of the old.
He pitched well, but Dodgers still got to. They took 2 in New York to start the week, which was nice. And so that was his final start of this 2016 season. He'll be in the bullpen, which will be a help to the bullpen.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, him throwing that nasty stuff coming out of the pen now, especially because, let's face it, the bullpen's probably been a little overworked. lot of gainings on some of those guys.
Oh, yeah.
You know, we've seen injuries. You know, Coleman's been on the DL, Liberatore's been on the DL. Jansen now has some kind of inflammation in his pitching hand. That's why he didn't pitch today. So it'll be nice to get a little, you know, fresher arm back there.
Absolutely.
Which will
And an electric arm.
yeah.
Do you think they'll go with that Urias Liberatore combination towards the end, and then Jansen, or it'll be like just Urias to Jansen, maybe not?
Liberatore has not pitched great as of late, so I honestly think Dave Roberts is just going to go with who's kind of hot.
Who's hot in the moment? Exactly.
Who's getting guys out? You know, I think that's what he's going to go with.
Also, I wouldn't be surprised to see Urias in the position where he could pitch multiple innings if someone was to get hit hard early in the game. He's you know, he could still pitch multiple innings. The other thing that we did see was Rich Hill start, which was interesting because he finally was hit by. I mean,
bound to happen.
He was hit by another team. I mean, he had so many scoreless innings, but also the. You know, he took offense to being hit on his left index finger by Archie Bradley in the Arizona game, and the dugout's emptied.
Yeah, as he should. No, I mean, you know, the guy's had a blister issue. The last thing we want is him getting hit in the hand, in his pitching hand on top of it.
I like the fire.
Yeah, I know. Me too, actually. Especially
Rich Hill, I didn't know he had that in him.
You know, 36 years old, he was a journeyman, and then kind of found his stroke last year with the Red Sox and earlier with the A's. So it's nice to see him just. You know, I thought he was a little bit of a hard luck loser. I mean, he only gave up 5 hits. It's just 4 runs scored on those 5 hits.
That's true.
You know, that's not going to happen that often.
No, especially with Rich.
Yeah, especially with Rich Hill. It was just one of those games for him. You know, it was, you know, just one of those things. It happens from time to time. But I'm excited about Rich Hill. I like the fire. I think he really wants to win. I know he was disappointed about being taken out of the perfect game, but I think I really do. The bigger picture. I really do.
He was really upset after that game because, you know, obviously talks to the media and whatnot, but you'd be surprised what a good night's rest does when you start thinking about things like, all right, it was the right decision in hindsight to remove him from that game, and he, like you said, he understands that now. So.
He is looking at the bigger, and the bigger picture is coming into focus.
Yeah.
And we're getting closer to October baseball and postseason baseball, and the Dodgers are set up for an exciting run here.
Especially because I think they can beat Washington. They have beat Washington.
There's been some
on the road
moments.
in Washington,
We don't know what Strasburg's situation is at this point. You don't trust Dusty Baker in the postseason. At least I don't.
No, never.
And so I totally agree that there's a good chance that the Dodgers have a nice run in them.
And I still don't trust the Cubs as good as they are.
Who can? I mean, as good as the Cubs have been, they've been the best team in baseball this season. Everything changes in October.
Yeah.
And you know, one bad start and the pressure and the pressure's on Chicago.
Yeah, it is, and I think that's the hardest part is that they all the pressure's on them. There's no pressure on the Dodgers. You know, with Kershaw, Harp, people didn't think they'd get here.
That's right.
So
the Dodgers have been lurking, and everything is coming together now. Knock on some wood, but knock on wood that we don't get any injuries and everyone's healthy in the next couple of weeks. The Dodgers are in a great position. They really are.
For the first time, they're healthy all year.
Exactly. And that's the thing. It's been a rough season. It's been a roller coaster. It really has. And we didn't know if Kershaw was coming back. Kershaw's back. He's healthy. He's ready to go. They have that number 2 in Rich Hill. That's a solid number 2.
They have a solid 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, and Mike is a solid 3.
Exactly. And so they're ready to go. They have a lot of the elements you like to see of a team that can make a run. They have the setup where the other favorite you would say was Washington now has issues.
Yeah.
Besides their manager. I mean, their starter. And then, so we're looking at a good run here.
The one thing that concerns me, or the main thing is again the left-handed pitching and our lack thereof of hitting it. It just seems again, CC Sabathia. I know that was a tough loss. He pitched brilliantly, just like I said, it was CC of the old. But we still are struggling with that left-handed pitching, and I don't know what we're going to see in the playoffs. But it's ugly when we're up there against that.
It is, and I think at some point, I believe it has to average out. At some point, we have to hit somebody. At least that's just my thinking. Like
you would definitely hope so.
But sometimes it takes a season to average out. I still remember Brian Wilson when he was pitching. People were like, oh, he's so good for the Dodgers. I'm like, no, his WHIP is like 1.7. He's not good. He's getting lucky that he's getting out of these situations. And then what happened the next year? Those guys started scoring.
So the Dodgers 4-3 this week. They got the series win in New York, two wins, 1 loss, but they split with Arizona. 4-game series. I always like to say that's tough to win a 4-game series.
Yeah.
Always just tends to end up 2-2 usually, no matter who you're playing. It's a tough one. But you had a good stat about Jock Peterson. and against the Diamondbacks. He's got 7 home runs in 14 games.
Yeah, the Diamondbacks seem to be his team.
That he
He just breaks
mashes.
against them. Yeah.
Plus a 463-foot bomb that he hit the other day.
Also, we have a good stat about Corey Seager. He's about to set the rookie record for the Dodgers in hits.
He did. He broke it yesterday.
Okay.
181 hits, beating Steve Sachs, 1980 when he was a rookie.
It's nice to see him put
Good
his
company
name
to be in.
Yeah, it is.
in the record books.
Yeah.
So it's not, passes Caros, passes Piazza, all those guys. So, it's. I'm so happy they held on to him. Because to have him over Cole Hamels now, I'm so glad we have Seager.
Was there ever really in danger of ever really trading him?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think
It would have had to be just a monster offer for somebody.
The thing about I don't think there was any moment where we can pinpoint saying he was definitely about to be traded or potentially, but there's always with prospects the chance that there's a deal there that they could be involved in. Yeah. It's one of those things. You just hope that you don't trade the wrong ones.
Yeah.
Or you just hope that teams aren't hiding injuries like the Padres.
That's a whole other story down south in San Diego. It's a mess.
That's just.
That's just 2 times that GM has gotten in trouble now for
So how is he still a
infractions.
GM? Shouldn't he now not be allowed to be a GM anymore?
You would think. I mean, I don't remember GM being suspended and then keeping his job. I don't remember GMs being suspended.
Me neither.
It's wild.
So
especially GMs that are doing a terrible job. So
that's true.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on in the water over there in San Diego, but they got some issues to clean up big time.
So the Dodgers currently, it's Sunday evening. Their magic number sits at 9, and let's look to this week. We have 3 massive games we already touched on with the San Francisco Giants, where we can basically put the nail in the coffin on the division.
Oh yeah, and maybe on the Giants.
Maybe on the Giants, that's right as well.
St. Louis is 1 game back now, I believe.
Well, what do you guys want to highlight for this upcoming week, starting with the 3, because it's a 7-game homestand we have with 3 in the Giants, 4 in the Rockies. Do you have any highlights you want to look towards? And
I really want to. Are we in Colorado for that?
It's
Rockies?
in LA.
It's in
a
LA.
7-game
Okay,
homestand.
because I've said this before. The Rockies just seem to be the Dodgers' kryptonite always towards the end of the season. So I think if we can take. I don't know, we can take two from the Giants or at least win that series. But the Rockies, man, they're always seem to be the ones that give us the most trouble.
You love talking about that. You're right.
Because it just happens. I've been a Dodgers fan my whole life. And last 2 or 3 seasons, it's always the Rockies who kind of stick it to us. But it's actually been usually when we're in Colorado when that happens. So hopefully that's why I was asking if it's here. Because, the air up there. Ball seems to go actually 20 feet. So
As long as they get a split, I'm happy against Colorado. You go 2-2. I think that's fine.
You're right. And as I just said about this past series with Arizona in the 4 games, I can't. I'm telling you, 4-game series, if they get a split with Colorado, it'd be perfect. It wouldn't shock me at all. If they get 2, especially they don't have the big guns going. It's all about San Francisco this week.
it's all about San Francisco. That's the focus.
And they're getting Kershaw, Hill, and Maeda.
They're getting everybody.
So,
they're getting it thrown at them, and San Francisco, they better show up. Otherwise, LA is going to put the coffin.
They haven't shown up since the All-Star break.
I know. That's my point. It's now or never for San Francisco, which is amazing that we're at that point where we have such a cushion that it really is. This is it for the Giants and the Dodgers. They have room for error. They have a nice little margin for error too.
It's exciting, and I made this point last week. They do remind me of those 2002 Angels. They really do. That team that they kind of just. I believe they were the wild card team that year.
Yeah, they were.
No one gave them a chance. Everyone's like, "Oh,
Who's Rodriguez?" Nobody knew who he was.
Yeah, it was Francisco Rodriguez. Troy Gloss was so during the season. Got super hot in the
showed up in the playoffs. Yeah, I remember.
So it was just they do have a lot of similar elements to me of that 2002 Angels team. So, and I hate the Angels, so it pains me to say that.
That team was stacked offensively, though. That team was absolutely stacked.
It was, but the Dodgers pitching is much better than that team's.
Yes, absolutely. Yes,
so
it was.
It'll be nice to. I think you just got to capture. It's Vinny's last year. We should say they're going to do a special for him on ESPN on Wednesday.
This Wednesday.
Yeah, this coming Wednesday.
And all the Dodgers fans out there, there's a special on Vince Scully this week on ESPN.
On ESPN, I believe KTLA is going to show these last few games.
That's right.
So you can. People in LA will actually be able to watch.
No matter who you are, no matter where you are, this is the chance. You got to get as much of the remaining moments that we can of Vince Scully. Get it?
Oh yeah, just coming here. AM 570 was doing, highlighting his big calls.
Scully stories.
Yeah, the Hank Aaron home run.
I mean, you could highlight that for days and days because he has so many. I mean, you could listen to Vince Scully talk about paper, like tissues, and it would make it exciting.
I just can't get over the man is 88 years old and he's just still. I mean, yeah, he makes a couple of errors on the broadcast. Who doesn't? We all do. But he's still like the voice of God.
So now is a good chance for you guys out there to let us know if you have any great Vince Scully moments, if you have anything exciting that you want to let us know about Vince Scully. Put it in the comments. Put it in the chat, anywhere. Let us know about what you think about Vince Scully. This is it. This is the last season for the Dodgers. So
I did convince my wife that if we do have, that Scully is not a bad first name. She was on board for that.
I didn't think about that. It's funny. A lot of babies born right now may be taking on that some kind of connotation.
Scully Gershon?
Yeah. It doesn't sound that bad.
I like it.
I like it, so.
I like it.
It can work for a guy or a boy or a girl.
That's
too.
what we said. So we're like, hopefully the day will come soon we have kids and just be like.
And then I can give you my Indiana Dad shirt.
Oh no.
We went to rival colleges, so that'll probably never happen.
Fantastic. So we've talked about this week. We've looked forward to next week. Anything else you guys want to talk about? I know it's kind of not that much news this week for the Dodgers. Other than they took care of business. They had another winning week, and their magic number, is whittling down.
Well, we kind of talked earlier when we were on air about the expansion rosters and kind of like how we felt about that.
Yeah, because today
you brought up some good points.
Yeah, today was an interesting day for Dave Roberts because I think, combined between the two teams, I think 50-something players got in today's game.
It's crazy.
Between the two teams, and it got me thinking about this roster expansion. And if you're a playoff team, it has its positives and negatives. If you're a playoff team, you get to add guys to your rotation, rest guys, which is obviously a positive. But it also changes the way you manage right before the playoffs.
It does.
So it's a little give and take there. Now we were kind of chatting about is the roster expansion a great thing for a team out of the playoffs? I mean, yeah, because you can bring up young guys and see if any of these guys can play.
I think it is.
Yeah, I like it as well. I think one of the things it also does is even if you are in the playoffs, it helps rest guys.
Yeah, it is good for rest. I just worry about
that's the key.
A rookie manager like Roberts now suddenly having all these weapons at his disposal.
He kind of falls into a trap where he relies on that, and then he gets them taken away when you go into the postseason, and maybe he's not completely the same manager.
Yeah, that was my only concern with especially with a rookie manager.
So since baseball's such a long season, I think it's so important, not just for the teams in the playoffs, but the teams out of it, having the guys there for injury concerns, the young guys you bring up, give them experience. Here's my take: if you don't like it or you don't think it should be part of it, the idea is maybe if you're the manager, you don't need to utilize the idea of adding it. So, but I understand the concern where maybe you say, I love the way the manager's been managing, but now he has these extra pitchers at his disposal that he won't have in the playoffs. Let's hope he doesn't change. It is something to look at.
It is,
absolutely,
especially for a rookie manager. Robert.
Absolutely, 100%.
And is there any argument? Is he manager of the year? In the National
I would
League?
have to say he's a front runner for it. He's going to be the front runner.
He's been great, but it's tough because Joe Madden.
Yeah, but Joe Madden is expected to win.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's just the awards are tough for me to know who would win. I can't say. I don't know. Does Dave Roberts win? Because he's definitely going to be up there as a definite possible candidate to win. But even though Joe Madden's been expected, how is that graded? Because he's been expected and he's done it, and he's done it pretty easily. It's just tough for me to say. I don't know.
And obviously, we're biased here being a Dodgers show, but just knowing what the Dodgers have gone through with them leading the major leagues in injuries, and just the way that he's been able to just the Dodgers have never been out of it. Even when even when they were 5-7 games back earlier in the year, they were never really out of it.
And most impressive, is they kind of turned it around when they lost Clayton Kershaw.
Yeah,
Ewing theory,
which I said was the Patrick Ewing theory, because now Kershaw's been carrying this team on his back for the last 5 years, getting them into the playoffs, and now they couldn't rely on him. Other guys had to be like, oh, we don't have Kershaw, we need to step up.
And they did.
And they did, which was, you had
incredible
veterans, Justin Turner, Adrian Gonzalez, rookie, Corey Seager, Chase Utley even.
Oh, yeah.
You had these veteran guys step up and really make a difference for the team. And I think that's just huge. That you talked about it where, this magic kind of coming together where it seems like that. And now all of a sudden, you potentially have a Kershaw who was rested for 2 months coming into the playoffs. So maybe now, I know Kershaw has the big playoff burden on his back. It's the one chip against him.
Well,
but maybe this year
this could be the chance to get rid of it, especially because they're not coming in the team that everyone's talking about, as we've talked about. And you said they're kind of coming in a little bit under the radar, a little bit of the underdog feel to them. They're not the Cubs that has all the pressure. Clayton's been gone for a while. He's worked his way back. He's back, and he's ready to go. And it doesn't feel like past seasons where the Dodgers have the bullseye on them, and they've been able to manage this season very beautifully. They have a pitcher behind Kershaw ready to go in Rich Hill. They have the third man in Maeda. They have other guys ready to step in. My question would be to you guys, when we come here next Sunday night, have the Dodgers wrapped up the division?
I actually think so.
I think so too. Really, or go ahead.
Yeah, well, I really think that if you watched, because I've been watching the Dodgers and the Giants, because you got to watch.
You gotta watch both.
Watch them both, and the way they've been blowing games, the Giants, they blew a lead in the ninth inning again. They can't find a closer. I mean, it's a week left of the season, and they can't find a closer.
Yep.
I do think that uncertainty, I think, will lead the Dodgers to, even though Bumgarner and Matt Moore were going to face two lefties, although we got to Bumgarner last time.
We did.
He has not been that sharp in his last few outings. Mm-hmm. Matt Moore worries me a little bit more. I didn't. Bad wordplay there. But I actually think that I think they should take 2 out of 3 at least from the Giants. And then all you need from Colorado is really just 1. You don't even really need to take 2 at that point.
Yeah, I mean, if the Dodgers can get out of this week 3-4, which I think they'll do better, but even 3 wins, that's a 3-win week at minimum takes the magic number to 6 if the Giants sweep and the Dodgers and win their game. So I mean, if the Dodgers can get 3 wins this week, that's beautiful. If the Dodgers can get 3 wins against San Francisco, they could get swept in a 4-game series with Colorado and be okay. I mean, that's the worst possible scenario against Colorado. I don't see that happening. I think the Dodgers. I asked you guys. I think the Dodgers will wrap up the division this week, and I've been the one I think all season that's kind of been saying I didn't think the Dodgers had it in them to win the division. I thought they could get to the wild card, even with a Kershaw return. It's hard for me to believe that the Giants have imploded kind of since the break.
Yeah.
Continuously, especially with it being an even year.
Cueto has carried the Giants, and it's hard to do it on your own. As for one starting pitcher, you can only do so much. And Baumgartner hasn't been so great his last few starts, but he's still a Madison Baumgartner. You always know he's going to bring it. So.
And against the Dodgers, he will.
Yeah, against the Dodgers, he will. It's Cueto we struggle against too. So it's that and left-handed pitching. This is going to be a really tough series. So.
But it's the best of both teams going out there. So go to the stadium this week. Because it is the best of both teams going out there.
And not in the 3rd inning, Dodger fans.
Yeah, show up, beat the traffic and show up early.
We know that traffic is brutal, but
If you get there by 5, you're fine.
Any final parting words?
Let's just see a strong outing, boys. We've got a tough matchup against the Giants. Let's close it out. Let's take this division. The end is near. Let's cross that finish line.
Something interesting. They're giving Jacques Peterson a new face card to help him against lefties.
Okay.
So I'm assuming that means might throw him out there. So
something to watch for.
Yeah, it's curious to see because he does not play against left-handed. So it'll be curious to see because Hernandez still hitting below the Mendoza line. So I think you got to maybe roll the dice and see if Jacques can start hitting the guys. So
we just have 2 more weeks of the regular season.
Yeah.
Hey, where is Vince? Is it timetable on his return? Or is he out? He's done.
Him and Trace Thompson are done.
Okay.
Done. Ryu's done. McCarthy's done.
I mean, it's the Dodgers.
Has Thompson been announced? Yeah, I thought. Okay, believe so. Yeah.
They've all been announced. I think Anderson is pitching in AAA.
He had a blister he was developing on his finger.
He's hanging out with Rich Hill too much.
Do you know that Jock Peterson and Corey Seager all live in a house together in Los Feliz?
And it was Trace Thompson.
And Trace Thompson.
That's incredible.
The 3 of them just living in a house together. I love it.
They're neighbors with Conley over there in Los Feliz.
Yeah, if anybody knows their address, let's get their address. We need to find out where they're living in Los Feliz.
Just show up with a 6-pack. Hey guys, whatever helps.
All right, well, it was a good week. We're hoping for another good week next week for the Dodgers. Thank you guys so much for joining us. You can find us all over social media. You can find me. My name is Michael Rippe on social media at Mike Rips, and my co-host
Hunter Marks, Instagram Huntsman, Twitter Hunter_Marks. Tweet me.
Joshua Gershon. I am at Gersh13 for both Instagram and Twitter.
That's right. And we will be back again next Sunday, maybe with the division champion Los Angeles Dodgers. For Dodgers Wrap 360, my co-host, myself, we'll see you next week. Thanks, guys.
the From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
See you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.